My name's Daniel Romano, and this is my Schott jacket. It sort of went like punk, rock and roll, sort of folk rock, straight up country, back to kind of folk rock, then just like straight rock and roll with a little dab at the end of like hardcore punk. You know, I suppose that's full circle right there. The ethos has always been the same. It's like been very much punk ideology. We do everything ourselves. We have our own record label. We don't do stuff we don't believe in. We don't do stuff we don't want to do. And we try to honor the sort of aesthetic and the scene and the people in the community that we came up with, and to maintain that and bring that through to a generation that's pretty removed from each other and anything that has to do with community. I have no idea. I genuinely don't know. Upwards of 30? Is that right?
In like 3 years?
No, well, no. There was, but was there 10 in that little section?
Yeah.
All right, so.
It was like 3 months.
Well, whatever. There was nothing going on, so to be fair. And a couple of those were already in the bag.
I think the answer is you don't know.
I genuinely do not know. No, but it's probably in the 30 range. I'm not exactly sure. I think through the country and western thing, I was sort of interested in the tooling aspect or angle of leather, and but simultaneously through coming up in sort of punk rock, and especially and specifically the Ramones, I sort of like became curious as far as what they were wearing. In Halifax at, I can't remember the name of the store, it was a vintage store, and I was sort of leafing through the leather jackets, and then I saw the sort of sheen that I liked, you know, and once I got to it, saw what it was, and it was kind of a no-brainer after that. Like a patch on the back of a leather jacket is like as classic as it can get, really, and so I was like, I really want that to be sort of what we don, you know, and so once I finally settled on the sort of design for our group, which took a long time because I kept sort of besting myself as far as what it should be, and once I sort of finally settled on it, it was like, okay, well, now we make patches and put them on the back of leather jackets. It was just kind of like, just seemed like the obvious thing, and then we started playing in leather jackets and realized it's really hot, and so we downgraded to vests, and weather permitting, it's either vest or jacket, you know. Midway through the first kind of wave of the pandemic, Maddie had hit us up about doing a record because he, you know, I mean, he's so busy all the time and was just kind of home, you know, and we're like, I don't know, we live close by, maybe that's why, who knows, but I think he probably respects us musically too. But he asked us to just do something, you know. I think he hit up Wade first and was like, okay, well, let's get the Romano brothers or whatever. And yeah, we just went in knowing that we were going to make something heavy and not really knowing anything else. And Maddie had a couple references, and as far as sort of where he wanted it to go, and we just like hammered it out real quick without thinking too much about it, and it turned out the way it did, which I think is pretty good. I don't know, I feel like just sort of like a I feel sometimes a lot more like a fly on the wall in the hardcore scene, because I don't feel necessarily akin to it, but I also grew up in it. But it's evolved, and I've evolved adjacently, and it's like so there's elements that I obviously understand, and I think musically it's just like I'm able to do it because I used to. You know, outfit, there's like singing and, you know, longer songs. It's definitely more difficult. But it depends who you would ask. I think some people might find, you know, playing that like kind of fast, blistering hardcore more difficult or whatever, but it just feels like really natural, almost like it's just in there. And there are no wrong notes in hardcore, so that makes it easier. You know, it's just like pick what's most sour and roll with it. And Maddie does the writing for, or Maddie and Wade sort of do the lyrical part of it, so I'm really just sort of like, no, great, you know, that'll work for that part, and then we probably slow it down, you know. It's kind of just like, don't think and go, which honestly outfits a lot, is that way a lot too, because you can get in your own way pretty quick. I think the common ground in all of that is just like, like seeing an idea through, really. You know, it's just like, there's a certain bravery that people might take for granted or not really consider about having an idea and bringing it to fruition. And like, you know, I mean, there's always a utilitarian aspect to that, obviously with the sort of asymmetrical zipper and like how that's like so quintessential to the look, but actually it was just purely for wind resistance, you know? It's just like, that kind of stuff is so amazing. And to have the, you know, the incredible honor to have walked through this factory and just like see the different stations and patterns, you know, is so amazing. And the fact that like the tried and true, like, you know, sort of original design is still just like a number one is like, you know, you can't bag that. That's just like full commitment. This is what we do. This is who we are. And here it still is, as important as ever, as relevant as ever, you know. That's the sort of like quintessential post-war America kind of like, let's see what happens, you know. And I don't know, it's so awesome.